Torah portion this week is one of the famous of all of the biblical narratives, the story of Noach and the flood. We could spend a week discussing, did this actually happen? Of course, as an Orthodox rabbi, I believe that it actually happened. How it happened, when did they pick up and drop off the kangaroos? That's for another time. But for now, I want to point out just an interesting little statement in regard to the story of the flood, where we're told that after the flood finished and the animals were leaving the ark, we have God telling Noach, take out all the living creatures from the ark. And on these words, Rashi, quoting a Medrash, says, if they don't want to go out, you take them out. What does it mean that the animals didn't want to go out? They were stuck in this ark for 40 days and 40 nights. They never saw sunshine. They were trapped. And yet some didn't want to leave. Rabbi Abraham Twersky, who is a noted halachic scholar as well as psychiatrist, says the animals acted like humans. There are times we find ourselves in a situation which might not be optimal, but we're used to it. It's not so bad. Why shake up the apple cart? I always think back to my mother of blessed memory when my father passed away. We had recommended to my mother that she move down to Florida where her brother and sister lived. She couldn't think of leaving the apartment in Far Rockaway. She was comfortable there. Eventually she left, and as they say in the storybooks, lived happily ever after. We can all learn from this, never to settle for the status quo. Sometimes just because it's not so bad doesn't mean we shouldn't try for something better. You know, in the Torah, we're told that you're not allowed to make a monument of a living person. We do make monuments for the dead, but not for a living. And Rav Moshe Feinstein pointed out, because a monument can't change, but a living human being can. We don't always have to be what we are now. So those of you who are settling to stay in a corner of the ark, you might want to consider it's time to get up and get out and enjoy life. Shabbat Shalom.